Greetings from just across the New York-New Jersey border in New Jersey at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. So pleased to have you along. This should be a good one. We're set, and off we go here on EA Sports. Now an opening past the 30. And he'll be forced out of bounds, but a very solid return.
At their own 44-yard line.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
Only a gain of 1 on the game's opening play. Here's a 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw. No one open. He'll drop it to his running back. Third and 5.
18 Cardinal, go!
He'll drop to throw. Open man, right side. He's got it. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a 1st down.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch. He decides to go with the safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
They'll turn and hand this one off. And a good run there. Finds the lane. Gets forward. Got 8 yards and sets up a much more manageable 3rd and 2.
Very positive returns on that run. I mean, really, the only thing not to like is that they weren't able to move the chains. But you know what? The way he ran there, I think they go right back to him and see if he has even a bigger carry in him.
Now, on 3rd and 2, they'll try and throw for it. He's going to have the 1st down and more. And they will finally catch up to him and get him down.
Well, they've come out swinging here on this opening drive through the air, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. Generate some early chunk plays and try to get some points.
This has been a solid opening drive. They're knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Good blocking, and he's in. Daniel Bellinger. Touchdown, Giants. It's his 2nd touchdown of the year. Exactly the way they scripted this one. A beautiful opening drive, Greg. Able to find the end zone on the game's 1st possession.
And, Mike, the word that comes to mind looking at that drive is execution, and that's exactly what they talked about all week long. They wanted to come out early in this game and establish an early rhythm, and that's exactly what they did with that touchdown drive.
So, 7-0 the score, and set now for the dynamic kickoff. This one is fielded in the end zone, but he will not bring it out. It's touchback, and this drive will begin at the 30-yard line. Here's 1st and 10. the first carry for King Henry. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
This is how you draw up your opening possession when you're on the road. The longer the drive goes, the quieter the crowd gets. Continue to mix in that run game. Let's see if they can finish off by putting this ball in the end zone.
On first down, they'll stay on the ground with Henry. He'll burrow his way forward for a couple. That's Bobby Okereke there for the stop. Look him up on a second down and 8. They're going to go right back to Henry. And he'll take this up to the 48-yard line. That's Dexter Lawrence in for the tackle. They need 8 as they come up for third down. In the pistol, Jackson ready. That's complete. He got it to Hopkins. And he's going to be taken down at the 30-yard line.
These third down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on third down.
Here's the give to Henry, running right. That's on the center, Tyler Lindebaugh. From the gun, Jackson. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing.
How fast things can flip. You find yourself in first and a mile after taking a penalty on first down. But that chunk play there in the passing game now gets them back in sequence with the chains and brings up a more manageable second down.
Second down and 8. There's a give. Heading right, it's Henry. He'll be brought down. It was a nice pickup, but a penalty flag on the play. Early indications of a hold. So after one, 7-0 is our score. We're back to upstate New York in just a moment. Lamar going to work from the pistol. This one complete to Bateman. Well, that helps. It's going to be a much more manageable third down, getting some good yardage on that second down play.
This may look like a simple connection, Mike, just pitch and catch, but I can promise you the amount of time these two guys have spent together on the practice field, in the meeting rooms, just getting on the same page, seeing the game through the same set of eyes, it makes what's pretty difficult seem a lot easier.
DeAndre Hopkins was the intended target for that one. And it's going to lead to fourth down.
So I like the aggressiveness of the call, but as the rest of the game unfolds, Mike, there needs to be better overall execution. A little bit cleaner. Next thing you know, they're going to hit some of those big shots.
The field goal unit on the sideline. They'll line up to go for it on fourth down.
Change it.
Jackson out of the pistol. This one incomplete. The defense up to the challenge there. They force the incompletion, and they'll take the ball over on downs.
And here we have a real gutsy call here, Mike, early in this game offensively. I think you're giving up a surefire field goal attempt, but at the same time, you're demonstrating to your players, hey, offense, I have a lot of trust in you, and let's see if they have this same approach as the rest of this game plays on. I think you just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Handoff here, up the middle. And he's going to be close to a first down, up to the 34.
It's tough to completely celebrate, Mike, when you don't pick up the first down, but that's a run you will take every single time. I mean, good yardage in a lot of situations, it'll get you the first down, just not here.
They'll try and throw for it on 3rd and 1. And it looks like he's going to have enough. Indeed, the referee does signal it is a first down.
Really just comes down to everybody understanding the situation. You realize, how many yards do I need to get for the first down? And just make sure at least one of my receivers is past the sticks. That's where he went with the ball, and they're able to convert.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That one incomplete.
There's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
Here we go, here we go. Go.
Back to the air once more on 2nd down. He's hit after the catch, and the ball comes free. And it's recovered by one of his teammates.
I feel like we see this so often, Mike, especially with how good these receivers are after the catch. They're so eager to pick up that extra yardage. Sometimes they don't completely put the ball away, and with how good these defenders are at knocking it loose, pretty fortunate on that one. His teammate was there to prevent that from being a turnover.
And that is incomplete.
I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
And he'll be brought down, short return, and they'll take over there.
At their own 23-yard line.
Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Henry. And that's not going to yield a whole lot. Up to only about the 23. Here's 2nd and 9. Pistol formation with Jackson. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down.
They've been a little up and down in this first half. I mean, they have less than 80 yards of total offense, and halftime looms. So missed throws like that, those are missed opportunities. They've got to hit the plays when they have them. They want to have a chance to leave here with a win.
3rd and 9.
No, we changed it.
In the shotgun, here's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Deontay Banks right there with a good coverage to knock it away. On fourth down, the Ravens call on Jordan Stout to punt. Now, fair catch called, and he's going to take it out beyond the 25-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Set to go now on first and 10. This drive will start on the ground. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
The ability to be effective on first down, Mike, it just makes everything else easier. In the event you do have to face a third down the road, they're usually a lot more manageable situations, a lot easier to convert.
They'll stay on the ground. We'll get this to about midfield. Roquan Smith there to bring him down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the 50-yard line.
2 minutes remaining. First half in a 7-0 game. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this. Here's a 2nd and 6. From the 50, he'll set up to throw. That's thrown right side, but incomplete.
So on a day where he's completed, give or take half of his passes, Mike, you have to imagine there's a handful of throws he'd like to have back, and I think that last one falls in that category. But the biggest thing, and most fortunately for them, they find themselves with a lead despite a bit of an up-and-down performance out of their quarterback.
On third down, they'll set up to throw. He'll look deep here for Neighbors. That is knocked away downfield, incomplete. He made sure not to let the receiver get behind him. Third down stop sets up fourth down. Here's Jamie Gillen on now. He'll punt for the second time, looking to pin the opponent back deep. And he's going to be knocked down before he can even think about returning that one. Whoa! On first and 10, Jackson. And that's going to wind up incomplete.
As this offense continues to put anything together and score some points, they need to just take a step back. Then you say, okay, we've struggled here in the first half putting points on the scoreboard. Don't worry about chasing points. Let's chase first downs. Let's chase completions. Just start building something small. And oftentimes when you take that approach, it snowballs, and next thing you know, you find your groove.
That's caught right side. It's Hopkins. And that'll go for a gain of 7. And it's going to set up third down. Now, Jackson. And he's got it to Flowers for the connection. They get 18 on the pitch and catch. Good for a Raven first down.
And this is why most teams, Mike, decide to take the ball first after the halftime break, because they want to be able to control this middle four. At the end of the first half, you can use your timeout. You can use some strategy to steal an extra possession. If they're able now to go down and come away with points, they'll have a chance to double it up again right after the halftime break.
Jackson up top again. Going up top and looking for Andrews. And he's going to be brought down inside the 15. Now the Ravens use their first timeout. They'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work first and 10. Again, it's Jackson. And that one knocked away. It's incomplete.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. And sometimes he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. Question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
That is caught. It is Hopkins. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short.
Well, so often we see quarterbacks standing in the pocket, holding it, seeing if they can create something downfield. Well, not that play. That play was simple. Snap the ball to the quarterback, spit it out into the hands of your receiver, and let's see what he can do.
Third and a yard. To the air one more time. That's in the end zone and intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. He works free, right side. Inside the 30. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play here in this first half. Just the lone touchdown in that first half of action. 7-0 is our score. As we get you down to Florida, Orlando specifically, for the coaches, Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, thank you. Both teams trying to find the right formula to come out on top in this second half. Coming up. Just that one touchdown on the board. 7-0 the score as the third quarter begins. This kick is fielded in the end zone, but no move to bring it out. It's touchback, and that ball will come out to the 30-yard line. So they come to the line for first down and 10. And the Giants here will use the first of their timeouts. On first down, they'll start the drive with Henry. And tough running there. He's up to the 32. Micah McFadden, the linebacker, there on the tackle. Second down, Jackson. This throw right is taken in by Flowers. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
Hopkins sent in motion. A first down throw for Jackson. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
They were able to complete this pass, but how often do we see these running backs run these angle routes and they catch it in stride and run a hole through the defense? So, I know the defense gave up some yards here, but it could have been a lot worse.
They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. Now whistles. Play clock at 0, and that'll cost them 5.
Forward. Ready. 13. Out.
Jackson now on 2nd down. A pass pulled in by Henry. And he'll be marked down at the 45-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and there wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there. Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
BC, ready? Ready. Ready, shot.
Now it's Jackson. Throw over the middle, brought in by Hopkins. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line.
It finally seems that this offense has found their rhythm after what's been a really slow first 2 quarters. They're hopeful that this series can be the spark. They continue to be efficient in the passing game and go finish this drive.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. To throw is Jackson. He'll look underneath for Henry. And good yardage there after the catch. They'll wind up with a gain of 7 on 1st down.
Well, this is a great example of the old saying, Mike. You never go broke taking a profit. And give credit to this quarterback. I know it's not the big explosive play he was looking for, but getting the ball into the hands of his running back, allow him to pick up some extra yardage after the catch.
Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. In the pistol, Jackson ready. And this ball batted away and incomplete.
They couldn't quite connect there on that short pass, Mike, and I just think it's worth reminding everyone how different the concepts are down here in the red zone than what the rest of the game plan calls for in the normal part of the field.
Third down, 3 to go. Here's Jackson. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
Just a couple plays ago, Mike, it felt like a touchdown was kind of inevitable. They were doing everything they wanted as they marched the length of the field, and then as they got down here close to the red zone and that field condenses, they started getting sloppy in their execution. Now, what do they do on 4th down? Do they try to keep their offense out there and extend the drive, or do they settle for 3?
The offense not coming off the field, and here's fourth down. From the gun, Jackson. And he's going to be hit and taken down. They got him with a big-time rush, and it will lead to a turnover on downs.
So the key to this fourth down stop defensively was their ability to flush the quarterback out of the pocket. Anytime you can do that, you shrink the field, you limit the quarterback's options, and in this case, he can't find anyone, and ultimately, he goes down for a huge fourth down stop.
They'll begin here on the ground. And a pickup of 3 or maybe 4, Kyle Hamilton, the former Notre Dame star, able to make the play. Here's 2nd and 6.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
Now they'll set up to throw. He bought as much time as he could, but he will finally be taken down.
Through the first half, it was clear. This pass protection, this offensive line unit, they were clearly up for the challenge. The pass rush was non-existent. But here in the second half, you can sense a little bit more urgency. You can see them start playing with a little more speed and intensity, and it pays off there with their first sack of the day.
And that is incomplete.
It's pretty remarkable at this stage, Mike, that they're even winning this game. I mean, anytime a quarterback is completing less than 50% of his throws, you just don't see that very often, and it just seems like time and time again, this quarterback and his intended targets, they're just not on the same page.
And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere.
At their own 22-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. Lamar going to work from the pistol. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
Just seems like another case of predetermining where the quarterback is going to go with the ball. He had a lot of good route options on that last concept. I think if he just remains a little bit more patient, read the play out, let it unfold, will lead to some easier and better completions.
Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete.
Well defended there, and the quarterback's trying to attack this defense outside the numbers. Those really wide angle throws near the sideline sometimes can be very hard to defend, so give a lot of credit to this secondary. They were all on the same page, and the ball falls incomplete.
Now, deep ball for Bateman. That is incomplete. Well read that time defensively, making it difficult downfield, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
A fair catch here. Called for and made beyond the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drop. They'll try to hit him with a screen.
You see so many teams wait till 3rd down to execute their screen game, but I like in this case the play caller changes things up. He uses the screen game on 1st down, which will have an effect on this pass rush going forward. How aggressive do they want to get after the quarterback? Because they got that screen play still in the back of their head.
And he's got it. 1st down. A pickup of 4. So, points. He'll look to throw. Laying out, and he made the catch. What a play. That catch number 40 on the season for him.
With wide receivers, I think we spend so much time by talking about their speed and their route running, and of course that's critical, but the ability to not only catch the ball, but to concentrate on the bad throws. We used to have a saying, you get paid to catch the bad ones, and saw a great example of it here, laying out, going down to get this ball, holding on through contact with the ground, and it's a big-time play.
Now, faking the give. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
Pretty clear approach here, Mike. You're just trying to take advantage of the size of your tight end versus a smaller defender, and you're just saying box him out and go up for an offensive rebound and get the ball at its highest point. In this case, it falls incomplete, but if they continue to get that matchup, this quarterback's not going to shy away from giving his big tight end a shot. This pains me to say, Mike, because I love the idea of feeding the tight end, but you can only go his way so many times if it's not going to result in positive outcomes. So wouldn't be surprised to see him try to get his backs, his wide receivers, get some other guys involved, and then later in the game, go back to his big tight end.
This one has plenty of leg, and it is good. And that could be big. They now take a 2-score advantage. So the lead is now 10-0 as this kicks away. This one will be taken in the end zone. No run back forthcoming. And the ball coming out to the 30-yard line. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Jackson out of the pistol. Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him. Brian Burns, the former Panther, in there for the sack.
This is what you don't want to see out of your quarterback. As that pocket starts to collapse, the good ones, they can keep their eyes downfield and feel the rush. They don't need to see the rush. Here, his eyes go down. He starts moving around the pocket. Nowhere to go with the ball, and they bring him down for a sack.
Sending it downfield for Likely. And this will be incomplete.
They're lucky to have avoided this mistake here, Mike. In the 4th quarter, with possessions running out, that would have been a critical back-breaking play in this game. And they're going to have second life now after that defender drops the ball. And let's see if they can take advantage of it.
3rd and long. Pistol formation with Jackson. He's going to look downfield once again. And this will bring them all the way down to the 20-yard line.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
Forward.
Jackson now to throw on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down back at the 20-yard line.
To play in the NFL, you've got to have a short-term memory, because regardless of whether the previous play was good or bad, they're going to line up and snap it again. In this case, really nice job bouncing back. They put the bad play behind them, forced the sack in the ensuing play, and they're right back on track.
In the shotgun, here's Jackson. A throw there on 2nd down, going to be incomplete.
Can't exactly put my finger on it, but it just seems like this entire game, like this passing game and this quarterback specifically, they've just been off. And whether it's missing these big shots downfield like he did there, or just simple underneath layups, there's just something about him today that doesn't look right. And I think it's a big part of the reason they find themselves trailing here in the 4th quarter.
On 3rd down, Jackson.
great reaction by the defense. At first, Mike, it looked like there was enough room out there for the quarterback to pick this one up himself, but they were able to rally to the ball, and I think the officials are going to mark up just short.
Trailing late, they've got to go here. It's 4th down. They'll try the option here. And that's not going to work. The defense comes up with a 4th down, 4th quarter stand, and forces a turnover on downs. A run with the man out of Purdue. That's Tyrone Tracy. And slim pickings there to about the 12-yard line. Now the Ravens use their first timeout.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 12-yard line.
Ready?
Here's a 2nd and 9. Back to throw. That's caught. It's Tyrone Tracy. And a nice game, getting this to about the 23-yard line.
An interesting decision there by the play caller to put this ball in the air. Mike, you're up by 2 scores. Traditional wisdom says, hey, we're up by 2 scores late in the 4th quarter. We've got to keep this clock moving. You don't want to risk an incompletion. Now, they convert. They're able to secure the catch and pick up a fresh set of downs. That's going to enable them to continue to burn more clock. And without a stop, their opponent's not going to get the ball back.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. A carry here for Tracy. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
Well, this has been the story of the entire game, Mike, is just how well this defense has played, particularly against the run. There has been nowhere to operate for this offense, and it continued here on this last play.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. He'll look deep here for Neighbors. That one is batted away. Incomplete. No separation that time. Tightly defended. It brings up 4th down. The Giants sending out their punter as they try to play the field position game here, protecting a 4th quarter lead. And he's going to lose yardage on this return. Tried to retreat, but is covered up. Here's 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Well covered on the sideline, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And he's going to be out of bounds, but he has his offense set up in great field position inside the red zone.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But, boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
They'll motion their tight end, Johnson. Quick throw here is complete. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And, man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
They'll throw here on 3rd and short yardage. And this is going to be a touchdown. They they are going to extend the lead here in the final minute of play. So the turnover turns into a quick touchdown, and Greg, that's exactly how you want your offense to take care of business.
Anytime your defense can create those sudden change situations, Mike, absolutely, you have to take advantage of it. 1 second, you're sitting on the bench going over your next drive. All of a sudden, after that turnover, you've got to be able to get out on the field and go. Take advantage of the short field, and results in a nice touchdown.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
They'll come up here, first and 10. On the give, here's Henry. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up second down. So it's a win for the men in blue. The Giants get it done. They put together a complete football game.